In this episode, I burrow into the beating heart of Beijing, the historical alleyways of China's capital city, where stories old and new are woven into its walls. Join me as I lose myself and all sense of time in the meandering maze known as the Hutongs.
Welcome to Travelogue in Beijing. Before moving here, I actually had been here as a snap-happy tourist, really keen to see the Great Wall of China and eat Peking duck, of course. But it wasn't until I came back with plans to stay for longer that I really discovered what the true Beijing was. The Hutongs. Let's go have a look.
Just around the corner from the skyscrapers, it's like a parallel universe where the sound of traffic fades and time slows down. Here, behind the grey brick facades, echo tales of dynasties past. These alleys are Beijing's Hutongs, ancient lanes that once ran north to south, east to west across the entire city. The Hutongs provided access for the residents of the traditional courtyard homes, or Siheyuan on either side. And all these centuries later, many people still live in these historical neighbourhoods.
So this is the main gate of Siheyuan, which back in the day would have been inhabited by one extended family. However, these days they've been subdivided, and many of these courtyards are actually shared by several different households. In fact, you can probably tell how many households live in this little compound by counting how many electrical meters there are on this wall, because each of them lead to a separate household.
The Hutong's communal layout has created close-knit communities. My quest is to find a classic Siheyuan to show you. All I want is a little peek at what it's like to live in a Hutong home. I know, they say curiosity killed the cat, but the open doors are just too tempting. Luckily, I bump into a friendly local who, instead of shooing me away with a bamboo stick, beckons me and gives me a spontaneous tour of her place, even letting me poke around in her backyard. Well, courtyard. And lo and behold, guess what I find? A Siheyuan that's as classical as it gets. The complex is very conventional, 4 separate one-story pavilions, all facing inwards, the main building looking south. That's traditionally where the head of the family would stay.
So we've been actually really fortunate because we've managed to talk to someone who lives in this compound. Usually they're private residences, so if you walk in it's like trespassing. And this is just fantastic because it's really, really well preserved and it's quite authentic. And it's just like walking into a time capsule. So as you can see around me, like it's just so peaceful in here, and the only glimpses of people living here are like the laundry hanging up around, and that one looks pretty empty though, so I'm kind of thinking about moving in. What do you think?
Right now, I'm renting a room in a dreary high-rise apartment complex, so for me, thoughts of living in this sleepy old sanctuary are extremely enticing. There's just so much colour and personality in its time-worn appearance, and an atmosphere of utter serenity. Generations of history were created right here, and I wish you'd share some of its stories with me. Yeah, alright. I'm just a tad jealous of Hutong life. That's it. I'm going straight to a real estate agent.
Living in the Hutongs can actually be quite expensive. If you rent a courtyard residence with modern amenities and 3 bedrooms or more, it can cost actually upwards of 20,000 renminbi a month. But if you want your very own slice of Hutong life and not pay so much for it, you can easily find it. You just got to know exactly where to look.
Gorgeous, right? This is the Hutong Hotel in the grungy but trendy Gulou area, north of the Forbidden City. In the warmer months, this place gets packed out. I mean, who could say no to unwinding on your private terrace with a glass of sparkly in your hand, watching the evening fall around the drum and bell towers? This guest house is the brainchild of a Canadian tea lover and his Tibetan business partner. Both wanted to create a living space that captured the easy energy of the Hutong neighborhood.
So you already had the concept in your mind before you started looking for a place?
And the result? 10 luxurious quarters nestled in an exquisite traditional setting.
So here we have Joel. He's actually one of the owners of this Orchid Hotel, and he's here to show me one of the rooms. Whoa! This is super nice. Very, very cool. So
this is one of our better rooms, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a nice, you can't really tell in the winter here, but there's a nice garden with grapevine growing there that's quite old. And people can sit out and have breakfast here.
Nice. It just looks so cozy in here. The lighting as well, I think.
Yeah, it should be homely, not terribly luxurious, but really comfortable.
And how much does this room cost?
This is 1,200.
1,200 a night.
Yeah, RMB. I mean, I guess architecturally, the one significant point is the fact that it was. This is the south building.
Oh yeah.
So it's north facing.
Yeah. So it gets all the
so
sunshine. It doesn't get the sunshine.
So by taking the alleyway that used to be an alleyway here and converting it into a part of the garden, and then putting windows here, it turns it into a south facing room. So so the light that you get is quite significant.
I'm very tempted to stay
and
here.
All the rooms also have access to our media server. So it's free movies, like 500, 600.
It's the ultimate refuge, huddled so secretively but so comfortably in the Hutongs.
Joel tells me that a lot of the patrons they get here are actually expats living in Beijing in high-rise buildings like me, and they come here for a weekend to get away from, you know, the cityscape. And I can totally understand, because it's like the perfect collision of old Beijing with a modern twist, and that's exactly what I'm waiting for right now, because dinner's coming up and I'm super excited. Traditional Chinese food with a modern twist.
Oh yeah, this dumpling is really good. Upstairs from the Orchid's reception is an intimate dining space borrowed by award-winning culinary team Black Sesame Kitchen.
What makes you think about?
Here, every Tuesday evening, a communal wine and dine experience is held, featuring the best of Chinese cuisine,
Love it.
flowing wine, and the company of strangers from all around the world. Ingredients for a truly unforgettable night.
Look what we have here.
So this is the Chongqing spicy chicken, which is different. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's different compound. compound sauce, but dry spicy. So nami and spicy, but dry one. It's really good.
What number dish is this now?
This is the number 9.
The last one?
Yeah, we have desserts.
Ooh,
Of course. And you'll need ice cream after this.
Homemade ice cream, yeah. Coco's homemade ice cream. This is Coco, by the way. Come over here. Hi. Coco is our dining manager at Black Sesame Kitchen, and isn't she awesome? Yeah. She sure is, and a top-notch ice cream maker too. You. To Beijing and the Hutongs. Yes. So I've just finished my meal, and I'm coming into the kitchen to say thank you to the chef. Thank you, 你好. This is Chef Zhang, and this is Chef Wang. 谢谢你们煮得很好吃. Thank you. Thank you. Coming up next, I try my hand and mouth at a bit of street vending, hit up the most happening hutong in Beijing, and do a shot of China's notorious liquor with a slithery twist. In this episode, I burrow into the beating heart of Beijing, the historical alleyways of China's capital city, where stories old and new are woven into its walls. Join me as I lose myself and all sense of time in the meandering maze known as the Hutongs. It's another magnificent blue sky day in Beijing. Day 2 of exploring the Hutongs. Guess where I am? I'm at one of the most popular tourist destinations in Beijing, and no, it's not the Forbidden City. It's easily accessible by subway, and if you're looking to start your Hutong adventures, I'd recommend starting right here. Nanluoguxiang is on line 6 and 8 of the Beijing subway, and if you get out at exit E and turn left, this is what you'll see. This north-south hutong was built sometime during the Mongol-ruled Yuan dynasty around the 1300s. The word hutong is derived from the Mongolian word hotog, meaning water well. Hotog came to represent a gathering place. Of course, many centuries later, much has changed. This hutong today is crammed full of stores selling all sorts of knickknacks and nibblies. But it retains its essence as a hotog. It is still a gathering place. And there's always something happening that draws the crowds. This street vendor is a bit of a master with his hands, and mouth too, it seems. I wonder what he's making. It's a thick malt sugar syrup that he's using, blowing it like Venetian glass. He has a whole repertoire of animals up his sleeve, and the audience is loving it. An impressively realistic king prawn. Now what? That's one wing done.
然后你可以吹，好吧？我给你管你吹，这个不要太快，太快了就鼓起来了，就破掉了。哎，慢点，我吹成猪啦！对，吹肥了这会儿。吹。哎，行，可以了。
Oh my god.
吹那个胖老鼠。
It looks deceptively easy. Turns out there's a precise art to it. Somehow, he still manages to craft a mouse out of my mess. I'll leave it there for the masses to admire. Well, that's my creative pursuit / embarrassing stage performance done for the day. Now, I'm going to continue my morning stroll. So this hutong is one of the more famous ones in Beijing. It's known as Nanluoguxiang, and as you can tell, it's still bustling in the middle of winter. People like to come here for the snacks, the shopping. For me personally, I like getting lost in the quieter hutongs, and all I need to do is just turn the corner. Away from the main strip, it's like taking a long, slow breath of fresh, invigorating air, and you can really immerse yourself in the authentic and the avant-garde. Well, that's until your bladder calls.
Another great thing about the Hutongs is that you can spend all day wandering about and not have to worry about finding a public toilet like this one. The only problem is that you have to remember to bring your toilet paper, and you gotta not mind going in front of other people. I guess when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Hey, when in Beijing, do as the Beijingers do. The reason why there are so many communal bathrooms is because originally, Hutong homes didn't have sewage systems, so residents had to share. The dogs don't mind either. They share car wheels, hence these barriers. With toilet cubicles or without, Hutongs remain the geographic and symbolic heart of Beijing. They are the source of its long history and grassroots culture. During the daytime, they're all yours to explore by foot, by bicycle, by scooter, but probably not by car. And when the night creeps in, the Hutongs keep humming.
If you find yourself walking down a dimly lit alleyway like this one at night time and it's pretty cold, never fear, because usually there are some hidden gems in the Hutongs like this. It's pretty unassuming, right? But it's actually a bar and there's no signage outside, so you can't even tell what it is, but once you walk inside, it's a whole new world.
If Jasmine and Aladdin flew here on the magic carpet, I bet they'd agree. This obscure little den is said to be the first baijiu dedicated bar in the world. Baijiu is China's national liquor, generally distilled from sorghum. Its alcohol content normally ranges from 40 to 60% by volume, and it has a very distinctive scent and taste. If you've ever lived or done business in China, chances are you've had an encounter with this stuff.
Well, we're specializing in baijiu.
Capital Spirits has been tremendously popular since it opened, as it gives people a chance to understand baijiu, instead of being pressured to do shot after shot, as is typically the case these days.
Take your word for it.
It's pretty good. I'm struggling to find an analogy to compare it to, but it has a little bit more flavor, and it's like a slightly sweet.
Yeah, try it. This is interesting. I got this in a Yunnan restaurant. It's a yaojiu. Nice color. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that.
It's just a shot of the steak.
I'm gonna order something special, something medicinal that's supposed to bring out the heat.
Oh my god. I'm actually born in the year of the snake, so I feel kind of like a cannibal, but it tastes a little bit like what I imagine a floor cleaner to taste like, so not the best, but yeah, not too bad. I'll tell you if I start sweating.
But I still haven't gotten to the last.
Do you find that having a bar in the Hutongs actually brings a lot of the tourists in?
More and more now, yeah, more and more now. I mean, we are surprised because when we first opened, we thought it'd be more of the gulo kind of hipster crowd, and still kind of is. But actually, a lot of local Chinese in the area come here all the time.
The fusion of the traditional, the contemporary, East-West, new, old, quiet, busy.
Really, there's nothing like this anywhere else on Earth. In the Hutongs, opposites merge so effortlessly, not just in the architecture, but in the concepts. And a skim of the drinks menu confirms this, a deeply cultural beverage taking on the modern bar scene.
That kind of reflects that as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
So our specialty is baijiu, but we don't only serve baijiu. We have over 50 types of baijiu. And our specialty is we serve it in these small glasses, and you can drink different types of baijiu in flights. And all of our staff can walk you through any flights, so you learn a little bit about baijiu, like, appreciate the taste and understand the history.
Yeah, because baijiu isn't exactly the drink of choice for many foreigners.
Yeah, I think it's gotten kind of a bad rap, but actually, you know, baijiu's been around for over 2,000 years, and originally, you know, it's supposed to be enjoyed slowly, not like in huge quantities, but slowly sipped, smelled like wine, right? And then, I don't know when it kind of happened, but more recently became kind of like a thing where you drink in high quantities and spend a lot of money on, but now we're trying to
wedding banquets and that sort of thing.
Business meetings. We're trying to kind of push it back to where it was originally meant to be, just kind of like tasting and appreciating the flavors of baijiu.
Coming up next, I delve deeper into the labyrinth, loosen up with the locals, and let the Hutongs lure me right in. Beijing's Hutongs are like the city's arteries, gently pulsating with calm energy, drawing life into its dusty, enchanting soul. Here, in these slender, gracefully crumbling passages that crisscross the old city, people go about their daily lives unperturbed, or so it seems. The reality is, times are changing. It's been estimated that since the early 1990s, a third of the city's several thousand Hutongs have been bulldozed, while another third have been renovated to the point where they no longer retain their original appearance. There are fears that Beijing's Hutong heritage may one day vanish. If that is truly the case, no, I can't bear to think about it. Instead, I spend day 3 casually navigating the maze again, roaming deeper into the core, going more local, and encountering a few amusing sights along the way. Apparently, the dumplings here are so good that the Nobel Committee awarded Mo Yan a box when he won the 2012 prize for literature. To be honest though, I'm on the lookout for the legendary street-side brekkie, jianbing. It's a northeastern Chinese favourite. There are vendor carts selling the handmade to-order crepe all over Beijing, but this jianbing store I stumble across has got an industrial jianbing machine. Freshly folded, very crispy and a little bit spicy, bound to hit the spot. Adequately stuffed, I continue my immersive Hutong journey.
哦，这是你早上运动吗？
One of the highlights of the Hutongs are the inhabitants themselves, like Mr. Dorn, who engineered and installed this state-of-the-art fitness equipment not too long ago. He offers me a turn, but decides I need a thorough demonstration first.
Like dancing with a skipping rope. Oh, sorry.
All I need to do now is repeat each move 100 times like he does every day. And hey, I'm gonna be a prima ballerina.
Gosh, this exercise is actually quite good for an all-body workout, and you don't have to go to the gym because there's one right here in the Hutongs. Yeah.
With my high-intensity morning workout done and endorphins released, I happily go on my way, engaging my senses and absorbing the sounds and smells of the Hutongs, which are just waking up to a clear winter's day. The more I see, the more I realize that the Hutongs embody a way of life. And what strikes me most is the sense of community, a certain raw human camaraderie that has become scarce in today's urban empires. It's like I've entered a wistful reverie of old Beijing. These past few days, I've stuck to the Hutongs in the hip Gulou area, north of the Forbidden City. There are just so many fascinating spots in the locality, like this peculiar building behind the bell tower. It may look like an ancient site of worship, but the signs say they sell hot drinks. That's it, I'm in. I'm absolutely frozen to the bone. Apparently, the quirky decor pays homage to its history as a Taoist temple, a factory, and then a tofu shop.
Chocolate syrup?
The original Excuse Coffee, not far from here, was demolished last year.
Syrup, right?
This is its new home, for now.
Perfect, thank you. It was getting a bit too chilly out there, and I happened to chance across this small Taoist temple that's been transformed into a quaint little cafe, and I thought it was just about right time to get a hot chocolate and enjoy myself.
Jenny says that her cafe is actually part of a larger project called Zajia Lab, which is also a bar, an experimental art space, and a performance venue, mainly focusing on film and theatre. That explains the alternative vibe I'm getting. I do love it though. There's an unorthodox, dishevelled splendour about the Hutongs that can only be felt as you walk through the tangle of lanes, through centuries of history preserved in the brick and plaster walls. Leaving the Hutongs behind, I suddenly find myself back in real time. Everything around me picks up pace again. The traffic roars and rumbles in the background, and the high-rises twinkle and tear at the sky. It's a very different world out here.
Although many of Beijing's Hutongs have been pulled down to make way for the modern city, plenty of them still remain for you to explore. I mean, we've barely scratched the surface. So, if I were you, I would put Beijing on the top of your travel list and come here to experience the magic of the Hutongs all to yourself. I'm Joy, thanks for watching, and see you next time on Travelogue.